a concerning NFL draft trend should have alerted the Packers about Sean Clifford years ago. Green Bay Packers quarterback Sean Clifford exhibited some red flags, but most of them weren't entirely his fault. Coming out of Penn State, Clifford faced numerous challenges, many of which were beyond his control. Unfortunately, he's just the most recent in a string of former Penn State quarterbacks who have struggled to transition successfully to the NFL. If we look back, names like Trace McSorley and Christian Hackenberg come to mind as other Penn State quarterbacks who faced similar difficulties in making the leap to the professional level. During this past preseason, the Packers held an open competition for the role of backup quarterback behind Jordan Love. The battle was between Clifford and Michael Pratt, a rookie from Tulane. Both had their standout moments during the offseason, though Pratt seemed to perform better in live-game situations, whereas Clifford made fewer mistakes during practice. Despite their differences, Clifford remained gracious when discussing the competition after the Packers' final preseason game. Clifford ended up losing the contest for the QB2 position, and understandably so. In his words, "It's not my decision to have." He continued, "I think the world of Mike Pratt. He's a great player. I also think I'm a great player, so it's not up to me to decide here. Honestly, they should keep all of us." Clifford's classy response showed his sportsmanship, but ultimately, the decision was out of his hands. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur shared his thoughts on the situation, acknowledging the positive aspects of both quarterbacks' performances while also pointing out areas that needed improvement. "There were some really good moments and then there were things we absolutely have to do better," LaFleur said. "We'll evaluate everything that's out there for us." LaFleur's comments hinted that the Packers had something up their sleeves, and sure enough, they did. Shortly after the competition between Clifford and Pratt concluded, the Packers made a trade with the Tennessee Titans to acquire second-year quarterback Malik Willis. As a result, both Clifford and Pratt were cut from the roster. However, the Packers later re-signed Clifford to the practice squad, allowing him to stay within the organization, though no longer competing for the backup role. Sean Clifford joins a long line of underwhelming Penn State quarterbacks. The unfortunate reality is that NFL scouts, over the years, have not been particularly high on Penn State quarterbacks. The last notable Penn State signal caller to make a mark in the professional ranks was Kerry Collins, who was drafted in 1995. While Collins had a solid NFL career, he was never considered among the elite or a consistent all-pro quarterback. Over the years, several coaching regimes have come and gone in Happy Valley, with James Franklin currently leading the Nittany Lions. Under Franklin's guidance, Penn State runs a pro-style offense that should, in theory, better prepare quarterbacks for the NFL. Yet, despite these efforts, Penn State quarterbacks have struggled to live up to expectations in the pros. Drew Aller, the current starting quarterback for Penn State and a highly touted recruit, represents the next hope for breaking this disappointing trend. Whether Aller will succeed where his predecessors have failed remains to be seen, but his potential makes him a strong candidate to be drafted either in the upcoming NFL draft or the following year. For now, Sean Clifford is simply the latest Penn State quarterback to fall short of NFL expectations. Although he demonstrated potential and talent during his time at Penn State, it wasn't enough to secure a lasting spot on the Packers' active roster. His story continues as part of the Packers' practice squad, but the path ahead for Clifford, and Penn State quarterbacks in general, remains filled with uncertainty.